Hello and good evening. It's your boy Reed from Studio Rockpile. We are back at it again with my Galwegians from Infinity. Hope everybody's had a pretty okay weekend. Yo, YouTube, you gonna start this up, or we're gonna sit here for a minute? There it goes. Okay. Now we've confirmed that the stream has started. Yeah, so we're gonna be, as the title says, we're gonna be finishing up our base coating, and then we're gonna be moving on to a little bit of detailing and shading. I really do need to get a better camera angle. Gotta fix the USB ports on the front of my computer is what I need to do. And still haven't figured out the deal with copyrighted music for background tunes, so I don't even really want to put on background music because, you know, for people who are painting along, like you paint along to whatever you want to paint along to. You're probably not painting to the same thing I am, and you're probably very different music from what I would be listening to in the background or watching. I'm sort of listening to everything from Korpiklani that I haven't listened to in the last, I don't even know how long. So 6 years worth of albums I'm catching up on them. All right, where do we leave off? We were painting up the shirts. And for that, we were using my parchment color, which is Vallejo's German ochre orange camo, I believe. Yeah. Yeah. That's the one. Always give your paint a little shake first. Always. Every time. What do you mean the stream has had 2 playbacks already? Bro, it's not even finished. So yeah, we're just gonna... Last bit of base coating we gotta do is on the shirts, and it's not focusing right, so let me just turn off the autofocus. And we will continue. So I rediscovered a part of my childhood. I downloaded all the Marx Brothers movies. I've been watching those. For those unaware, the Marx Brothers and their brand of comedy, they were an influence from Monty Python. They were a 4-man, a group of 4 actors. Groucho, Harpo, Chico, and Zeppo. They didn't want to be they tried to be serious actors at first, but the first couple performances, people were leaving the theaters, and people leaving the theaters, especially because a donkey cart tipped over outside. Normally an indication that your material kind of sucks. So they, in the theater to stop people from leaving. They weren't movies, by the way, at the start. They were doing plays and Broadway and what have you. So they just started cracking jokes and bantering back and forth, and took off a lot better. And so they started doing dramatic comedy. Is that, I don't know, that like deadpan comedies almost. Or the most famous one was Duck Soup, which is probably my favorite Marx Brothers movie. They had the infamous window scene. If you've never seen that, go look it up. The Duck Soup window scene. Not window, sorry. Mirror scene. Harpo, being the genius that he is, he's a mute, by the way. He never talks. Always pantomime and a little horns. I'm actually gonna YouTube search that real quick to make sure that if you do duck soup. Actually, if you just type in duck soup, mirror scene is one of the first things. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, so it's the first one that comes up if you just type in duck soup mirror scene on YouTube. It's funny. I like it. It's good. Harpo smashes a giant room-sized mirror. And the guy Groucho chases him in. Harpo very quickly copies his outfit, and the two of them are copying each other's emotions in front of this mirror. It's great. Oh man, I got a little collar there that I gotta. Saturday night, we drinking Lake Bay's Spark House Amber now that it's starting to warm up outside. Fucking nice ass day on Thursday. As I said, we worked for 4 hours and then took a 4 hour lunch. So, I'm moving back into my more summery beers from my winter porters and stouts. Not by choice, but because they're no longer selling my favorite beers because it's not winter anymore. Unfortunate, but them's the breaks. And I think I'm gonna do all the kilts blue with green and white stripes. So that's the tartan we're gonna do. That's the tartan we're gonna be rolling with. Yeah. I'm being real careful. It's way too watery. It's way too watery. Well, that's fine. That'll get into the crevices, and then I can go over with a slightly drier coat later. Just get the high points. Get the little raised spots. Had one person say that I have nice hands. Thank you. Get laughed at for my scrawny little arms at work. I have an artisan's hands. My friends in high school called me lady hands. And we're just going real careful in there. And for some of you wondering, hey, how the fuck can you possibly get in those little crevices and places without fucking anything up? I am fucking things up. Fucking things up constantly. The only difference is I've done this enough that I know how to fix the fuck ups. That's the difference between the professional and the amateur. Is the professional has failed more times than the amateur has even attempted. So just keep at it, kids. One day you too will be as good as me. And I got people I gotta try to be as good at. Not that I know. And clean up the bottom of that. Sorry about that. There was a very loud truck outside suddenly. I'm trying not to get backblast on the fucking microphone. Man, so how about that huge ass boat that's still stuck in that canal? I don't know if anybody's been keeping up with that, but you may have noticed that I have a map of the Northwest Passage up. And while some people have been talking about the, haha, we are now embracing tradition and sailing around the bottom ass end of South America, I prefer the Chad, go up just about through the Arctic Circle. That is up in the Arctic Circle, isn't it? For those of you who are not aware of Stan Rogers, the Northwest Passage is a song of his. It's an old maritime song. Canada's fucking stupid. Because we have a shit navy, we don't charge tariffs on using the Northwest Passage, which would be a significantly better way of getting tax revenue than taxing the shit out of your citizens. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a dude who paints. I actually know where his shirt starts and the flak jacket stops. Oh, is it all flak jacket? I don't know. I don't know. We'll mix more flak jacket afterward. I gotta do a little touch-ups here and there. But really, tonight's probably just gonna be a touch-up stream. If I blow up my mic when I do those little blows to get dust off of things, let me know. I should get a proper mic set up. I'm just using the headset mic that I've had for almost a decade now, which is better than what I was using when I first got a computer. I had an old Rock Band USB mic, and I just suspended it over my desk on a hook. Had it dangling off to one side of me. So fucking jank. God damn, it's been a hot minute since I've listened to some folk metal. Currently listening to Korpiklani's album. Pretty sure I'm gonna pronounce this wrong. Gylha? Jylha with the 2 dots over it. Came out this year. It's good. It's very them, but I don't know. None of the tracks have really stood out so far. It's good. It's fine. It's just nothing hits me like Rauta or Pine Woods ever did. Certainly nothing will ever be good as vodka. Vodka, you're feeling stronger. No more feeling bad. Your eyes are shining. You are the real man. Wipes away your tears. Removes your fears. Everyone's gorgeous. Yeah, vodka. It's a classic if you've never heard it. Did I clean up the bottom of your kilt? No? We'll do that now. We'll do that now. I already figured out what I'm going to paint after the Galwegians. Angry Scots. I'm gonna go over to a model from Malifaux that I've had primed and sitting on my desk forever. A bit more macabre though. Like, Infinity is fun and wacky. Malifaux is very, well, actually, if you're playing Goblins, Malifaux is pretty wacky, but for the most part, it's a lot more macabre. Because, all magic's powered by fucking necromancy and death. Horrible eldritch beings waking up from centuries of we're not sure what. One I have models for, and I've never actually had anyone to play it with, so I've just been using the models for D&D and Pathfinder. Yeah, I'm gonna have to touch up those browns. Touch up the shit out of those browns. And I don't want to use washes on these just because that's a thing that I want to try, but I'm feeling like I might have to. Shit, but that's a gap on that arm. Should have plugged that with super glue or something. That's a thing you can do if you have super glue or modeling putty, or even liquid green stuff is handy for that. Just plug up the little cracks and gaps. It doesn't matter how well you put shit together, there will always be little seams that are visible. And you can learn to mitigate it, but only do so much. Yeah, I really should have painted these before assembling. But hey, what can you do? Made my decision. Now I just gotta work with it. To keep referring back to my monitor to make sure the model's in focus. Not much of a paint stream if nobody can see what you're painting. Man, me and the boys are gonna watch Kill Bill 2 tomorrow. Or Kill Bill Volume 1 tomorrow for our movie night. It'll be good. It'll be great. Remember we were moving, back in school, we were moving one of my friends into his new apartment. None of the first years that were helping him move in. I think we were in third year at the time. None of the first years helping him move in had actually they were going into second year at that point, but none of them had ever seen Kill Bill. Or not Kill Bill, Star Wars. The OG trilogy. The good one. So we were gonna watch that, and we plugs in his DVD player, which he swore that he emptied. Doesn't the damn thing start playing a movie? Second that we plug it in. So we turn on his TV. It's fucking Kill Bill Volume 1. None of them had ever even heard of Kill Bill. So we looked at each other and we went, alright, cool. So we're gonna accidentally kill Bill today. And we all got very drunk because that's what you do at school. Like, yeah, I also got a degree into the bargain, but fuck, the degree was, not very important. Considering it was actively detrimental to me getting a job. There's nothing more infuriating than being told that you're overqualified. You're afraid you'll leave. Well, yes, this is a stepping stone position. Nobody wants to be getting paid $14 an hour as an electrical assembler for the rest of their fucking life. Okay? I am here to get experience to be an electrical engineer. And what I've learned from engineering is that it's a club of elitist dickheads. So now I work in the trades where it's just regular dickheads. Alright, we're just about done with the tan. Really, I should have painted this first and then worked my way out, but it's fine. It's good. There we go. Who the fuck booping me? Who's sending me a message? Who the fuck? Yes, that is in fact a mood. Yeah, that's why I posted that meme. Big mood. Okay, so we need our Arial yellow. Shake your paints. Always shake your paints. Shake it like you're having an epileptic fit. My grandmother was epileptic. I get to make that joke. I'll put on a bit of black. Touch of black. We don't need a lot of it. And Arial yellow, which we do need a lot of. And then, like an absolute savage, the fuck did I get that yellow from? Just take a touch of black, out cleaning our brush, so people can see. It's a magic trick we're gonna do right here. Citadel paints, as I've said, they don't mix the way that you think they do. So yellow and black gives us a sort of military drab green. Riddle me that one, Batman. And so we're just gonna clean up our edges. I'm gonna go over our high points again. Because what you want to do is you want to highlight the... If you're not using washes, what you want to do is you want to highlight all your raised edges, right? So the raised areas will get more coats on increasingly smaller surface areas. Oh, and I just smudged the fuck out of that. It's fine. We're not doing proper ass shading yet. We're still doing cleanup. Just remember to keep your brush wet. Nice point on the end. And just take it slow. And with a complicated miniature like everything that Infinity makes, there will be a lot of cleanup afterward. And that's half of the process. My cat's in the hallway being a shit. He was in here just before I started streaming. He wanted in and out and in and out, and he's been doing this all day. God damn, there are a lot of edges on here that I missed earlier. Still haven't gotten a better camera stand set up yet. but I haven't exactly been looking. I've had a bit of a hectic week. So, camera stand is not on top of my priority list. That's not actually a bag strap, that's flak jacket. Miss Garfield, I hear you, but you've been a little shit all day, so you can stay out there. Actually, we're gonna touch up the top of that. Brush too wet. Dab off the water. Never want your brush to be too wet, but also don't let it be dry. Okay. Oh yeah, so I watched the cartoon Hell of a Boss the other day. Yesterday, in fact. It's funny. It's fun. It's not trying too hard. Unlike that other one everybody was going on about by the same channel, Has Been Hotel. That shit wasn't funny. That was also random. Look at the absurdity. The bit is the punchline. And as a result, everything just kind of fell flat. I can see why some people like it, and those same people are what I would call, children. But no, no, don't you get it? They're in hell. They're all terrible people. Yeah. No, I get it. Not funny. Oh no, is that actually a shirt? And then that's. I don't fucking know. No, because that's a strap. Okay, so. Fuck it, that's how we're doing that. That's just what color that's gonna be. I don't care. That's where it is. And I missed a spot there. Okay. I had an interesting conversation with a friend last night, about she's an artist who's trying to get better, right? She fucking hates half of her work because she can always see all the flaws in it, which is a common thing. Everybody always sees the flaws in their work, and as a result hates it. In fact, it's a lot of things. It's one thing that drives a lot of people out of the hobby. And it's because I think I've mentioned this: is your eye for detail and your actual technical proficiency do this annoying game of leapfrog with each other. Where at one point you'll be like, yes, I'm getting better, I'm getting better, I'm getting better. And that's because your actual aptitude is increasing. Your skills are getting better. But your eye is not. And then eventually those plateau because you can't see what you need to change. And then your eye starts getting better and noticing the new flaws. And it is the most annoying leapfrog back and forth. And she's at the point right now where her eyes are getting better, but her technique is not. And so I've had to sort of impart unto her the best wisdom I ever received, which is just stop fucking caring. Just stop caring so much about your work. I don't mean as in like apathy, I mean like those little flaws add character. Like, your work's not going to be perfect. You shouldn't expect it to be perfect. And it's annoying. It's a counterintuitive sort of principle. But you wind up if you care too much, you're just gonna drive yourself away from your hobby because you'll wind up hating it. You'll be overly critical of every little thing that you do. You'll never be pleased with anything you produce. Comes a point you just gotta sit back. You just gotta enjoy it. I missed a bit there. Like the sleeve. So didn't I touch a bit here that I didn't mean to? Yeah, I missed a bit there. Okay. And I say that ironically. Well, not ironically, but like, because right now I am sweating over all these little details, but I'm also somebody who should be sweating over all these little details. Because I can produce some pretty decent work. I'm just severely out of practice at the moment. And so I need to get back on the horse. To do so, I do need to be a little overly critical of myself. At the same time, I'm not about to get frustrated and start throwing my work out the fucking window. I'm painting this off cam? I'm painting this off cam. Sorry. I just needed to be done. Alright, so base color for the kilt we're gonna use refractive green. I don't think I've ever used this one before. Let's put a little bit of it down and see what it looks like. Oh no, that's more of a military drab. That's what I should have been using. Shit. Shit. Actually, it's fine. You know what? I'm gonna use that to go over the deep spots later. Shade thing is darker. I already know what the flat green looks like, so we're gonna use Citadel Warpstone Glow. A nice rich green. Look at that. I'm gonna reset the camera focus so everybody can appreciate that nice rich green right down here. It's a nice fluorescent. Well, not quite fluorescent, but like it's bright. A lot of pigment in it. Should I actually just do blue and white? Whatever, fuck it. Yeah, paint over it later. We're doing thin layers, it doesn't matter. I'll probably do 3 thin little layers. Yeah, I know it's boring, but cleanup is a very important part of the process afterward. Detailing might be on Monday then. See, it's a nice bright green. And it's dark right now because the black's shining through, but once we do 2 or 3 thin layers, it's gonna be okay. God, I haven't used this green in a hot minute. I've mainly used it for glowing effects. And edge highlighting. But it is just like it's a nice vibrant green. Makes it one of my favorites, and I'm sad that I don't get to use it more. Actually, what I use for plasma glow. Ah, shit, that's actually a belt down there. Fuck, I'm gonna have to repaint that. So this bit right here is actually a little strap with a thing on the end of it. A little latch. Shit. It's because we can actually see that. We'll touch you up there. Okay. On to the next. Trying to go clockwise around. Break out some more green. I mean, normally I'd like to do them all different colors, but it's supposed to be a military uniform, so I'm kind of obligated to do them all the same color. As with my Scots Guard, what I did was I gave them all different tartans, but those were for coats, right? So that's different, that's just a jacket. Like normally a kilt would be a regimental tartan, rather than a clan tartan. And even then, if they are all from the same clan. Doing a big no-no right now. I'm going back over an area that's still wet. But I know I can do that with this paint. Don't do what I do. Well, I know what I'm doing. Marie, we're still learning. Don't do the dumb shit that I do. I will point out when I do dumb shit. Once you start to get the hang of it and you really know what you're doing, yeah, you can paint the way it works for you, but yes, folk metal. When you get 2-minute accordion solo. Blast beats going in the background, hell yeah. I know, sounds dumb, but it's good. Oh man, I'm excited. Fucking Wizard Throne's first album. It's gonna drop soon, maybe allegedly. We finally got the cover art preview for it, so I am excited. Wizard Metal. I'm gonna have fun with it. Man, I wonder if Gloryhammer's gonna. They're done after that third album, or if they're gonna release some more. For those unaware, Gloryhammer is a conceptual power metal band who writes songs about intergalactic space Lord of the Rings in Scotland. Because all the locations are apparently in Scotland. But also involves such locales as the Darkstorm Galaxy, the Land of Unicorns, Dundee, Cowdenbeath, the skies above Mars. Which confuses me because apparently Cowdenbeath is further out than the skies above Mars, man. I don't fuck. It's weird. Oh, album's done. Hang on. Nightfall. Did I know? Did I already hear this one? What are the tracks? No, I have not. Okay, so then this album came out like right after I stopped listening to them. I think 2015 was the year I listened to, I think, nothing but Eurobeat. Because they did a good job of keeping me focused in the labs. I should read up more on Infinity's lore, that's what I should do. I'm just doing little streaks on the bottom to make it seem like the fabric goes inward. I don't know, I'm not feeling very talkative today, so sorry about that. Just a quiet sort of day, you know? Ever have those? Days where you just want silence? Yeah, maybe you're just tuning in for ideas. Maybe you're not here for a talking. You probably got me like muted and you're watching. I don't know, what's the big show everybody's watching right now? It's not American Gods Season 3, which I just finished. It was good. I'm a little sad that they got rid of a Nazi for political reasons, but he was my favorite. Like, I get why they got rid of him, but like they could have at least had a throwaway line of dialogue or something saying that a Nancy like turned tail and ran. Instead, nah, he got nothing. Okay. It's too watery. Dab off your water. Way too high. See, and then these guys don't have that belt strap on the back. Oh, you'll see me going over certain areas at weird angles and painting backwards instead of continuing forwards. It's just a weird sort of sense that you'll get for how certain paints dry. And you'll know that when it's in a certain stage drying, you can stop it from caking and pooling in certain areas. Oh, certain bitrate is 0. Recommend keeping audio stream at a bitrate of 128. Okay. But I still got an excellent connection, so shut up. But yeah, you get a certain feel for how some paints dry, and you'll know that some will, the medium will pull the pigment into crevices. So as it's drying, you'll want to occasionally double back and go over the surface again to stop that from happening. And because this is a Citadel paint, I unfortunately have to work relatively fast with it because that shit just wants to dry immediately. That's the yellow. I forget what color it was. It's one that I haven't used in forever. I immediately found a replacement for it. It wanted to dry while it was still on the brush. Might have been Screamer Pink. Yes, it was Screamer Pink, and it wasn't my Screamer Pink. It was my friend's Screamer Pink. And I wound up mixing purple, red, and black to get the same sort of consistency. And that's what I've used as a substitute ever since. There we go. So after I got my process down, the last two kilts were a lot more consistent than the first two. As a result, I don't need to go over them again. That's a thing that you will just sort of get as you paint. Pay attention to how paint's dry on some surfaces. And you can save yourself a lot of time and effort. Yo, what's this track called? This track is a fucking bop. "8 minutes in," doesn't say. Nobody gave a breakdown by time. Doesn't matter. All I need to know is Korpeklani is good. They're fun. Folk metal tends to be. I'm sure everybody's heard of the Ivan polka. They've done a proper ass rendition of that. None of this gibberish words, but actual, the proper lyrics. It's nice. It's fun. It's a song about getting drunk and playing polka music. And your neighbor's getting mad that you are drunk and playing polka music. But you don't care because you are drunk and also playing polka music, so. I think my favorite track of this is Rauta. Song about blacksmithing. Because you see, Rauta means steel. And I'm rambling now. So you can sort of see what I was talking about with the undercoating your highlights for metals. I turn off this light. You can sort of see the white shining through underneath, giving the metal a sort of grain. Now that it's dried. And after we're done with these greens, we're going to clean up the skin and the straps. And then we'll see about moving on to shading. Shit, has that been an hour already and all I've done is paint kilts and do a little bit of shirt cleanup? Fuck me. Time flies. But yeah, for what I'm planning, it would take about 2 hours for each of these, so. Okay, so we're gonna clean up the skin. I have no wet Kislev flesh left. I'd actually have the Marx Brothers on in the background, but I'd be pissing myself laughing if that was on. That's not good for painting. Pro tip, don't watch comedies while you're painting. I've actually been meaning to get one of those little ink micron pens to do edging and panel lining. So they can really speed up your process and be a lot more precise than a brush, depending on what it is you're trying to do. They're great for things like power armor and mech suits. A friend of mine who does gunpla builds pointed me at them a year or two back. They're like magic. Okay, that's all the skin touch-ups he needed. Holy shit, I didn't paint that entire section of arm. What the shit? Oh, maybe we'll go for an hour 30 tonight. Hour 40. Maybe the vaunted 2-hour stream. Fuck is beeping me now? Oh, but that's a fluffy cat though. Oh my god. Can't show it on stream, but a friend of mine posted a very fluffy cat. It's coffee colored. I don't even know what kind of cat that is, but holy shit. It's one of those ones that's like really like fluffy scruffy, and it's got the smushed face. But it's long. The cat's long, not its face being long. Oh man, Round Animals still on Twitter. Love that account. You just post round animals. Damn. Man, I'm so glad the Monster Hunter Rise is coming to PC. I'm gonna have fun with that. When it comes out next year, shit. Probably stream it. My friends is playing it on. A couple of my friends actually are playing it on their Switches right now, and they're having a time with it. They're kind of wished that they had waited for the PC announcement. It's because out of my group of friends, it's only the two of them that own Switches. I'm not gonna buy a Switch for like 2 games. I just won't play Persona 5 then, I guess. Fuck. Actually, I should. If I stop being a shit and hook up some Bluetooth and a couple of IR sensors to my computer, I could emulate a Switch and jailbreak the controller. Or however the fuck people use it on PC. There's a way you can do it. You could do the same thing with Wiimotes. Same shit as those people use Kinects as 3D scanners. Which is a thing me and one of my friends were working on. And then wound up just completely forgetting about. Because 3D scanners wound up becoming like dirt fucking cheap, and so there was no point in rigging up our own anymore. And the face is good. Okay. Fuck. Done. Yeah, wow, okay. I just completely skipped over this one for touch ups. What the fuck? Is that cover of Monet Monet? The yeah, this is a copy of Monet Monet. What the fuck? Uh, oh, that's. Yo, what the fuck language do they speak in Sweden? Oh, there is Swedish. Okay, I just went over it twice. Okay, yeah, no, this isn't. So what the fuck is Juni? I don't know. This is very clearly a cover of Monet Monet, but the title doesn't translate into it. I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb. Maybe I'm forgetting exactly where they're from. I swear it was Swedish folk metal. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of black on this X because I forgot that we were gonna do ebony wood. Because the title is Yone Yone, but I type that in the Google Translate, and it translates into English as the same goddamn word, both in Finnish and Swedish. And for those unaware, yes, I do enjoy Billy Idol's music. Billie Eilish, Billy Idol, you know, someone with actual talent. There was a solid 6 month period where all I would listen to in my lab is just the best of Billy Idol on loop. Yeah, it was a solid year of just Billy Idol and David Bowie. All I listened to. Okay, now we need brown. Yeah, we're going back into Blood Tracker Brown. Privateer Press. It's a nice light brown that I can blend up and I can blend down in shades for whatever I need. If you're going to be buying exact shades, you do you. Paint the way that's easiest for you. When you're starting out, yeah, you'll probably have like different shades for everything, but really once you invest in a wet palette, it's a fucking game changer. I'm just gonna go over all my surfaces that had little smudges for my browns now. Pretty sure this song's a cover too, but I don't know what. Sounds familiar. For those unaware or those who missed it, I am currently listening to a bunch of Corpiclani albums that I missed. Currently, their 2015 album Noita, Noita. We're on track 8, which I can't pronounce or even read. Actually, I probably pronounce it, I just can't read it. You have trouble with umulets? Umulats? Two little dots over the letter. That. Well, 200% this is a cover of something. Okay. Oh. Oh, no, 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 no. There we go. Almost fell out of the mount. That would have been bad. Shit's pewter. If it tips over, it might break. And that will be bad. Might do a stream about emergency repairs. I'll just smash up a couple of miniatures that I never use. I'm the guy who, at game day at his local game store, I'm the one with super glue in his bag. Just because it's always my models that wind up getting broken. You can prevent this. You can, there are specific. I use Gorilla Glue now. I used to use LePage Control Gel, the blue bottle, but now I use Gorilla Glue. And that's been working pretty well. I've had less breaks with that. Just because I don't want to use the plastic cement that actually fuses it all into one piece. Simply because sometimes I want to change what I've done after the fact. Which involves a snap and refit. And you can't do that if it's all in one piece. Alright, I got that little strap at the back that I forgot about. Just very carefully, just with the side of the brush. Just real easy like. Take your time, no rush. There we go. I'll do a wash, but just in like the creases. Okay, the first one we'll do with no wash. We'll see how I feel about that. But then the rest of them I'm probably going to do the wash on. Because it's my process that works, and I like the transitions that I get on, especially on fabrics. Washes work best on fabrics. Because I still haven't studied light enough to, you know. Besides, all I ever use is a black wash. Seraphim Sepia, whoa, what the fuck? Okay. It's a bad angle. It's a very bad angle. Yeah, let me just get the miniature holder up on the fucking camera. Important detail right there. Look at that. It's concave. You're probably asking, what is the importance of that? And that's a good question. It's not. That's the joke. That was beeping me. World's smallest AK versus 300 pounds of butter. Bro, why? Why 300 pounds of butter? That is a very tiny AK, though. God, I love bizarre fucking garage gunsmithing. For those unaware, a big thing that I get a lot of enjoyment out of is bootlegged firearms. You just crazy shit that some dude just kind of machine eyeballed in his garage while he was drunk, and then it works for some reason. Like somebody made designs in a model the other day for an upscaled P90 to shoot 7.62, which is fucking stupid. I need more brown. Just need a bit more. Oh yeah, worth noting about the Inquisitor I painted the other night. You don't just put on the terrain technical and then leave it. You actually dry brush it afterward once it's dried, but it takes literal hours to dry, so I couldn't do that on stream. What I normally do with the Astro Granite is I'll put a bit of Nuln Oil on it, let it sit, and then I'll just dry brush it with either a light gray or a very stark white. And it just gives that texture a little more, I don't know, notability, depth. Okay. Song is weirdly heavy for them. Ugh, I've let my beer sit for too long. It's warm now. Ambers are good cold. Not not like stouts where you can just drink them at whatever temperature, but usually warmer. Oh, I completely missed a surface there. It's not looking. Yeah, it's good in focus. A friend of mine's big into VTubers, and he keeps sending me the fucking clip of that one shark VTuber eating pizza in the bathtub. Who does that? And I say this as somebody who is a fan of Pat Stares At. Like, what kind of fucking goblin eats pizza in the bathtub? For what purpose and to what end? I say as somebody who spends literal hours obsessively painting tiny army guys. Oh man, I got my meme for next session. I just remembered one. This is probably seen the black and white photo of the little kid in the corduroy sweater holding a pipe in his mouth, like a little smoker pipe. And it's that, and it's got the caption, "Sorry, old bean, but that is not the correct way to play toy soldiers." And I laugh at it because, I am that guy. I am that guy who maintains that 3rd edition 40k was peak 40k. Simply because that's the edition that existed when I got in. Okay. And that's our cleanup. My neck is killing me. Has been all week. Oh shit, my nails are long. I didn't realize that. I trim those. Don't want to peel the paint off of shit. Okay, what next? What one are we gonna... Just because I know I'm gonna fuck up this one anyway, this will be the one that we do not use a wash on. So we will go back in again with a bunch of yellow. Just a little bit of black this time. We'll mix that a lot later. And we'll just touch up the high points. Just the highest of high points. And you can have a slightly shaky hand, that's fine. Don't gotta be perfect. And so what you're gonna do is you're just gonna go over the highest, most raised surfaces, smaller and smaller increments of surface area. Oh man, I gotta fix this camera. If I angle it more, it's gonna be looking at my goddamn keyboard. But I need it to aim more down. Yeah, I paint right in front of my keyboard. Okay, I know. Never actually. I've never spilled paint on my keyboard. Would you believe? No? Okay, well fuck you then. Nope. Take a little bit of that refractive green. Go into the deeper recesses first. And that's kind of what we'll do here. The areas that we want darkest, we'll just put a touch of that in there. Just to kind of bring that out. Just to lower it down, rather. Okay. Wait, did I miss an entire section again? Okay, this paint's got a weird consistency to it. I don't know if that's just because this is the first time I've ever opened it or what. But yeah, you can sort of see it now, what I mean. Like there is no light reflecting off of this. It is entirely just the model itself that is producing that kind of. It's not showing up as well on camera as what I'm doing. But like there's no washes being used there. It's purely just colors of paint on that chest plate. It looks better in person at this angle, but I can't get the camera to work at that angle. Especially if I turn off the side light and we just get the top light. That guy looks a bit better on that. I don't know if that's like the hue or color correction or what. It's normally a wash would do most of the heavy lifting for you. But I'm trying to avoid that. Just because it's... Yes, it's the lazy man's way to paint, but I'm trying to be the opposite of that right now. I'm trying to push myself and learn a new technique. Is what this channel is about. We're about getting better at our craft here. No matter how much blood, sweat, and tears it takes. And so now we're just gonna touch up these smallest highlights. The places that would reflect or catch the most light. And these tiny highlights are really just to make it pop. Less is more with these ones. I actually need to do some darker ones again. That's way too much black. We're not mix. Well, yeah, we kind of want to mix it dead, but you want it to be consistent, but you don't want it to be like flat with how you mix them. Because remember, none of the surfaces that you're painting are going to be a perfect texture, right? And those little imperfections in how you mix the paint really bring the surfaces to life. You know what I mean? You can pick up what I'm putting down. Oh, dried piece of paint on the end of my brush there, messing up my point. Excuse me. And yeah, just touch up the small edges. That's all you gotta do. And then my tiniest highlight on this part. Not too wet, that's too wet. So we dab off a little bit of water. There we go. I'll touch up this highlight again. And again, you just do that and you go over the surfaces again until you're happy with how it turned out. As we can see here, we've got sort of. God damn, it really doesn't show up well on camera. See if I can't get it to sort of. Oh man, I gotta turn off those lights. Just kind of. Is that like too bright? Is that the problem? Light directly on it, just too bright? Maybe. Maybe. So let's try that. You can see it's brighter towards the top. And it's the lower sides that are darker, and that's kind of what you want to do when you're doing this. That's really the effect that you're ultimately trying to get by doing blending rather than washing. I'm not happy with how that shoulder turned out, but I still don't know what part of that is actually flak jacket and what part of that is actually shirt. Alright, so that album's done. We're gonna shift over to the next one. Kulkia. This album came out and nobody giving me a year. But whatever. That might actually be one of their older ones. I don't know. Do I know any of these songs? No idea. Okay, next we're gonna do the bag next. So we're gonna get my darker brown. Which is just Vallejo flat brown. We're gonna be sparing with it. We don't need a lot. Just need a little bit. Just to go over the most recessed areas. And just kind of, if you are using a wet palette, you can twist your brush very slowly as you drag it through the paint, just to put a nice little point on it. Or if you're one of those weirdos who wants to lick your brush, brush liquor over on Fiverr. You do you. I'm not gonna judge. We're just gonna quickly touch. Actually, those recessed parts are fine. But like, I'm gonna touch the bottom of the bag. And then some of the smaller grooves that I don't feel are dark enough. I'm just trying to make the shadows look a little deeper, really is the goal of that. And in some cases, to catch up surfaces that I somehow completely missed. And I'm just gonna do a few streaks on the hair, just real messy like too. And we're gonna paint the beard a bit darker too. You're fine, but that needs to be darker. I'll probably do all the little bag fittings last. I think I'm gonna paint the brass. It's because that is a Scottish thing, we like our brass fittings. Because I enjoy painting brass colors. There, inside strap there can be darker. It's because it's under his arm. Okay. Now we're gonna start painting lighter. So I need more. Blood tracker brown. I need a lot. Now, which of these two, how did I blend this before again? My white's still good. Can I get anything out of that white? Nah. It's all dried? Okay. I'll turn off the autofocus so we can zoom in on the palette. Just so we can see me blending. Because I have a couple of different ways that I blend my browns lighter. Now, you can't just add white to something, you do need helper colors. Or else you'll just wind up with like very pale colors, and sometimes it doesn't look the way that we want it to. Hmm. Can I get away with this? I should really be cleaning my paint water, but whatever, I don't care. Can I get away with this? Should I add a touch of yellow? Let's put in a touch of yellow. Hmm. Maybe it should have been orange. Orange is more of a brown color. Okay, no, yeah, that looks alright. Alright, so we'll do that. We'll go with that. Okay, and we're gonna refocus up here? No. So yeah, we just put a touch of yellow in there with our brown. And a bit of white. The hair I'm actually gonna highlight with transitions from orange to brown. Or brown to orange, rather. So. And so yeah, we're just gonna take this brown that I mixed up. We're gonna go over my lighter areas. Just all the little raised textures. And the edges. Just very lightly, just kind of with the tip and the side of your brush. You don't want to be heavy on these. Well, actually, because it's the first layer, yeah, you can afford to be heavy. Just make sure you don't get into the recesses because we want to keep that dark. We want to keep those darker colors so we have a nicer contrast. Which is really half the trick with this shit, right? I mean, you guys can't even see what I'm doing there. And there are a bunch of little details on the sporran I'm going to get later. There's another track that I'm pretty sure is a cover. What is that? What track is this? I don't know. I don't know. Okay. So you know what I'm gonna do. You know what we're gonna do. Go over the highest points on this bag with maybe yellow ochre. Pretty sure that's the color that I'm looking for. Oh, no, don't you fucking do that. Doesn't matter. Oh man, that was close. Almost fucked up my brush. So that'd be better to highlight the sleeves with, so we're actually gonna do that now. We're taking yellow ochre from Vallejo. I'm gonna go over the higher points on the sleeves. And it's gonna be the most subtle goddamn shading. It's definitely an interesting learning experience and getting back to some of the old shit that I used to do. Because I did used to do all this shading on top of washes, and then I kind of forgot to do it after a while because I got lazy. So I'm remembering how I used to get some of my older work that I liked to look that way. There we go, that looks a little nicer. Yeah. Yeah. So we're gonna try mixing that with our brown. And we'll see what that gives us. Maybe I'll use that. Yeah, there we go. That's what I was looking for. It's a nice little worn leather look. So we'll just put that around our edges. Just be sparing with it. You don't want these bags to be like super scuffed, but like you want to show they have had a bit of wear. But you're trying to keep it subtle. You know? Again, just as you go, smaller and smaller surface areas are getting highlighted. Like 3 layers on my shading is normally where I stop. It's because otherwise you can be here all day. I pointed out to my friend last night. Like, if you want to, if you just want to keep going until something's perfect. Once watched a man sped up, didn't watch this in real time, but spent 11 goddamn hours painting a chest plate. And he was like, yeah, that's good enough. There comes a point where you just gotta stop fretting over it. Otherwise, there's just no end, right? That's the real magic of this, is just learning when to stop. Okay, okay. Alright, we're looking pretty good. We're looking pretty good. And next, we're going to start blending our warpstone glow into moot green, which I need to shake the shit out of, because I haven't used this since I painted a bunch of orcs last year. There's 40k orcs. It's orc with a K. So much more interesting than regular orcs. And it's not shaking up. Oh boy. Oh no. Shit. So this is what I mean. Got our nice tub of moot green there. And as you can see, the medium has separated out and all the pigment has solidified at the bottom. So I'm gonna try and salvage it. I don't have a good in-ore mixer. How about you? You're a dry brush. I don't give a shit. Okay. I'm just gonna take the bottom of a... Ah, no, that's gummy all the way down. That's not super salvageable. I'm gonna see what I can do with that. I don't think I actually have any other nice brighter greens. I can't just... Oh. Okay, that's workable. I pulled out a small chunk and I'm just kind of brushing it with a really wet brush. And it's slowly reconstituting. Thank you, acrylic paints. Very cool. So now in the middle we're just gonna... I might even just be able to get away with putting a bit of yellow in there. Yeah, okay, we can just mix warpstone glow and aerial yellow. We're good. There we go. Moot green, look at that. Thank you, wet palette. Very cool. It's like magic. Now we're gonna paint a highlight like shade the kilt, which we are then going to draw stupid patterns over, so it's whatever. And we're just, oh wait, I'm off camera. And we're just, think about your light source, think about where the light's actually gonna touch. Because you can highlight the whole business if you want, but that whole business isn't actually seeing the light of day, if you know what yeah. You get it. You get what I'm saying. You know what I'm talking about. I don't gotta say that. Hate that saying, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, I do know what you mean. You just said what you mean. What you said wasn't exactly fucking rocket science. Shit. Like, I've done rocket science. Fuck, man. This has to be a fucking cover album. This is like the third or fourth track on it that sounds like something else. much more yellow. And we'll blend in from the yellow side. And we'll just again on smaller surfaces. Because we want the most pigment to wind up on the highest points, I'm painting up. Oh man, am I off camera again? Shit. Did I shift something? Yeah, I did shift something. I shifted the angle, that's why. Yeah, there we go. It's a bit better. Ah, no, my paint dried out. Save the brush. It can't be that big a deal. It's kind of that big a deal. Okay. Like I destroy brushes if I'm not paying attention. I'm trying to get better at not doing that. Yeah, when you're doing shading and highlighting, paint towards the area that's going to have the most light hitting it. Just so that's where the pigment settles. Did I go too heavy there? Take a bit more yellow, blend in from the yellow side. And then that's what we're going to use. Again, just smaller surface highlights. I think this is going to be the last layer on that. Some of these areas I'm not even going to touch now with this. Just because there's that little light. Alright. Actually, that looks pretty good, I do say. Yeah, look at that. Look at that. That actually turned out pretty good. I'm pleased with that. Oh. I'm gonna do a little bit of a touch up down here, because I think that could be a little lighter. Just gonna do a couple. Just real light. There we go. Then we're gonna line the bottom of it. I'll turn that over. I'm just gonna pull towards the corners. Just on the high points. Their highest color. Only on the highest points. Just the lightest of touches. Just to set it off. You're not... There we go. And we'll do one like right there. Why the fuck not? Perfection. Okay. Okay, I wasn't sure about it at first, but we're getting there. Yeah, that's a good kilt. Look at that. And then we'll go over it with little blue lines and white lines later. Excuse me. Actually, I forgot one little bit here. Did I actually forget that? No, we got that. We got that earlier. Okay, that's fine. So now I need clear orange so we can gingify his hair. I'll put you over here with the yellow. And that's way too much, but that's fine. So because it was blood tracker brown, we're gonna take that and a bit of the orange. I need some more. Actually, we'll just do the flat brown until I get a consistency that I'm happy with. Yeah, there we go. We're just gonna real delicately on the hair, the raised edges. I'm not touching it with every stroke. I'm slowly getting closer to it to actually paint it. So not every actual movement of the brush is touching the surface that I'm painting. I'm trying to, like, less is more when you're highlighting. So just real delicate, like, you know, subtlety. Now, because I'm going to do another set of highlights over this, I can afford to be a little heavier. And again, remember, I'm a low-end professional. I'm not masterclass by any stretch of the imagination. We'll touch his beard too, why not? Now you can do this dry brushing as well if you want to do it faster, but I'm actually trying to... I'm kind of pseudo dry brushing, I guess. Wet dry brushing. Okay. And we'll do another. More orange. Maybe a bit of blonde through it. Okay. There. I like that. It's a good color. And we'll just get the high points. Just the highest points. It's like, think of those shampoo commercials and shit when they show the hair afterward, and it's... You get those bands of like ludicrous brightness in certain spots. That's what we're working towards. I'll actually also take a touch of white. Then we'll just touch the absolute highest spots. Ever so lightly. Okay, there we go. Alright, now you can see his hair's got a nice little... It's got a lot more depth to it than it did. Actually, this is coming along nicely. I am pleased with this. Take some photos of that later. Put them up on my page. And that's the 2 hour minute or 2 hour mark. All right. So I think we'll call it there for the night. And you can see what I mean about shading being an involved process, right? As we've sort of illustrated. We still got his boots and his skin to go. Ignore what is... Actually, I'm not gonna do anything with that. So, thank you for tuning in. If you're watching this in the future, thank you as well. Hope you enjoyed, maybe learned something. That's where we are so far. Everybody base coated, ready for detailing and shading. And it's gonna be the guy with just the sword. Just the sword boy. Who is gonna be done with no wash. I'm gonna try that out. So yeah. Have a good night, everybody. Stay safe out there. We unfortunately live in interesting times. Good night.